So earlier we have studied about terms used in rivet, but we are not explaining it. Here, first of all, what is pitch? Pitch is the distance from center at one rivet to the center at next rivet measured parallelly, and it is denoted as P. So here I am going to show you the diagram. Suppose this is a zigzag riveting, and the pitch is called, this is the chain riveting. The pitch is called the hole center to the another hole center. This hole center is the first row and this is the second row, and these two holes are placed in parallelly. So the center line of the first hole to the center line of the second hole is the distance called pitch of the riveting joint. And back pitch, it is the perpendicular distance between the center lines of the successive rows. It is denoted as PB. It is perpendicular lines distance between the center lines. It means it is the three rows are there. This is one row, this is two row, and this is three row. The successive back pitch, this is the back pitches, are those who is parallelly placed with each other. This is one hole, this is two hole, and this is three hole, and those are the back pitch. So this is called the center line of this center. The center line of this center to the center line of this center, the distance is called back pitch. So next one is diagonal pitch. It is the distance between the center of the rivet in adjacent rows at a zigzag riveted joint, and it is denoted as PD. So the diagonal pitch, in simple words, the diagonal pitch is only happened in the zigzag riveting. Like, see, here is the zigzag riveting, and the three rows are there, but the whole center line are not same. As we have studied in zigzag riveting, the center line of the rows are not same, but these are not parallelly also. These holes are not parallelly also. So here this is the first row and the first hole, and this is the second row of the second hole. So the center line, this is the center of the first hole to the center of the second row is the center line distance is called diagonal pitch, and it is always placed like a adjacent type. Next is marginal pitch. It is the distance between the center of rivet hole to the nearest edge at the plate. So here it is, suppose this is a chain riveting, or suppose it is the zigzag riveting. Always marginal pitch is measured for the first row and the last row. So here for these rows or for these holes, the nearest margin is this. But in the third row, the nearest margin is this. So from the hole center from the hole center to the straight line center margin is called marginal pitch. So next is your formulation. It is the formulation part of your machine designing chapter. Here we can formulate or doing for our problem or for our problematic question, the formulation is mostly needed. So first formulation is modes of failure of rivet joint. The failure of rivet joint. So in the modes of failure joint, here is the tearing of the plate at an edge. Tearing means any kind of cutting. When we cut some rivet or when we cut some two material which is joined through a rivet, So this is the failure we can face also. So what one is tearing of the plate at the edge. The figure shows the nature of failure due to tearing of the plate at the edge. Such a failure occurs due to insufficient margin. This type of failure can be avoided by keeping margin. We have to take the margin and the sufficient margin for that riveted joint. So here M is equal to 1.5D. Here M is equal to 1.5D, where D is the diameter of the rivet. This is the first formula or the first mode of failure, that is tearing of the plate at the edge. Next is tearing of the plate across a row of rivets. So in this, the main plate of cover plates may tear off across a row of rivet as shown in figure 2.7. I am going to show you that. Considering one pitch length, tearing straight per pitch length is equal to Pi minus D into T. So here there are the tearing area also that have tearing area, that is Pi minus D into T into sigma T. So where sigma T is permissible tensile stress for the plate material, P is equal to pitch, D is equal to diameter of the rivet, and the T is equal to thickness of the plate. So shearing of the rivet. What is shearing of the rivet? Rivets are in single shear, that is figure 2.8. We are going to see that in lap joints, and in double shearing register for pitch length is equal to tau into pi into n into d in single shear, and tau into pi by 4 into d square is equal to double shear. And where n is equal to number of rivets per pitch length, here in double strap board joint considering one pitch length. So here this is the tearing of the plate across the row rivets, and these are the shearing of the rivets. See, those are the diagrams of tearing of the rivet and the shearing of the rivet. So next is crossing of our rivet plates. Crossing. Sometimes sometimes the rivets are crossed due to tensile stress. Due to this, rivet joint hole becomes of an oval shape and the joint becomes loose. This type of failure is known as crossing failure, and the resistance offered by a rivet to be crossed is known as crossing resistance of the rivet. So when the joint is loaded, compressive stress is induced over the contact area between rivet and the plate, and the contact area is given by the projected area of the contact. So considering one pitch length, crossing resistance per pitch length is equal to crossing area, that is Fc is equal to n dt sigma c, and where n is equal to number of rivets per pitch length and sigma c is equal to permissible compressive stress. Here note that number of rivets under crossing is equal to the number of rivets under shear. So here is the crossing of rivet diagram. Next is your efficiency of a rivet joint. So the efficiency of a rivet joint is defined as the ratio of the strength of the joint, that is to the strength of the solid plate. It is defined as the least of tearing resistance or shearing resistance or crossing resistance by strength of the riveted joint, and the strength of the riveted joint is known as pitch into thickness into tensile stress. Next is our design of boiler joint. So in general, for longitudinal joint, board joint is adopted, while for circumferential joint or lap joint is preferred.